Actually, Jeb Bush got in a little trouble. Do you see this? Yesterday, he accidentally told reporters that he is, in fact, running for president, even though he hasn't formally announced it yet. But I think he covers it up pretty well. Take a look.
Is there any way you would have done things differently than your brother?
I'm running for president in 2016, and the focus is going to be about how we, if I run, how do you create high sustained economic growth?
Reporters are like, you said you're running. He was like, no hablo inglés.
Jimmy Fallon, welcome back to Daily Wrap. It's potluck time. This is part of the show. We go around the table, share our favorite stories of the day. Today we're going to do something different tonight. We're going to make Rick the head chef. So serve it up.
So I'm going to let Jeb off the hook for that little error because it was a mistake. But I'll tell you what he said yesterday that did kind of get my attention. Speaking in Arizona to a group of people, I think he was anxious to show off his new Apple Watch, right? He took it out, and he used the device to remind people that that Apple Watch held a lot of the answers to our healthcare difficulties. Why? Because in 5 years' time, you'd be able to load up enough apps into that watch that it would monitor your health, it would give you all this information, and it would pave the way for a consumer-based healthcare system. Well, it's very nice, but I got to tell you something, Governor. I once fought cancer, and you know what? There's no app for that. There's no app for that. My new Apple Watch, if I were to get one, is not going to help me when I have to go to my chemotherapy sessions. So the point that I'm trying to bring to everybody's attention is something that's constantly missed. Here we are facing, next week, a decision by the United States Supreme Court which may bring an end to these subsidies that are provided to those who qualify them to get their Obamacare insurance. Now, if that happens, nobody knows what's going to happen next, because while the opponents of Obamacare, certainly including Governor Bush, who, by the way, made a point of saying that Apple Watch was going to make it so much easier than the complicated system we have under Obamacare, that we have nothing ready to go. Why? Because the opponents of Obamacare love to complain. They love to take votes to get rid of it, to repeal it, revoke it, redo it, but they haven't given us a plan that honestly addresses the issues that have to be addressed. So my challenge to these people is as follows. If you want to complain about Obamacare, it's okay, man. That's the way our system works. But I think the time has come that when you're down to talking about how Apple Watches will save our healthcare system, maybe it's time to put up or shut up.
Noah, a reaction to... Do you have an Apple Watch, I think is the first question.
I don't, and I resent being forced to get one.
I'm not getting one.
I certainly don't want to have to wear a watch in order to just make sure that my blood sugar is okay. That's, I'm watchless. I enjoy not having a watch.
Let me ask the question this way instead. This was a very bad week for Jeb Bush. I think we could all agree. And it seems like there's this caricature that's already being formed, that he is just another version of his brother. Like, he's supposed to be the smarter one and the one that can think on his feet faster and the more articulate one. And it felt like I was watching a replay of George W. Bush, except he is actually a version that isn't even as likable as at least George W. Bush was, which even his opponents would say George W. Bush is a very likable guy. So it seems like he's trying to run a presidential campaign that is predicated on not making his brother look bad. Can he walk that line where, like, he's going to have to criticize him at some points because he's going to be running against him just as much as his opponent, and it seems like he doesn't know how to do that.
He's actually been rehabilitating his brother in private in pretty interesting fashions, really wrapping his arms around his brother. And initially that's what we thought we were witnessing when he was saying that I would have gone into Iraq regardless of what we know now. It seemed like he was in the midst of a rehabilitation process. That seems to have been fading. One of the lessons that Jeb Bush should be taking from his brother, but he's not, is how he approached the primary process, 1999 to 2000. There really wasn't very much competition to be had because the Bush machine, as it were, really snapped up all the money, snapped up all the endorsements very
McCain
early
still
on.
almost beat him, though.
McCain did very well. I think he won New Hampshire, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But that was because he had voter support, and there was some frustrations with Bush in the primary. But Jeb Bush is facing a much broader field, a much better funded field, a more diverse field, and he's facing Bush fatigue, which I don't think he's really fully taking stock of. For him to really distance himself from his brother like he has and jeopardize all that support that he's amassed from just having the Bush name and the Bush machine behind him, it really doesn't seem like a good strategy for the longevity of the campaign.
Yeah, and it seems to be hurting me. He's at the top of the polls, so to speak, now, but we're so early, and with all the money he has and the name recognition, he should be doing better. Anyway, we
25
only
people.
have, unfortunately, about 45 seconds, but this won't take long, people. So Tom Brady is appealing his suspension by the NFL. NFL is going to sit him for 4 games. That's the equivalent of 40 games in Major League Baseball. In other words, a quarter of the season. And here's why I think Brady will at least only get 2 games, and the whole thing may be wiped out altogether. We still don't know that he ordered any ball boys to deflate the balls. Did they deflate the balls? Yes. Did the order come directly from him? I have never seen that. Powerful people have proxies. They have people to do things for them. And I could see it being, Tom likes the ball soft, take care of it, I don't want to know about it. But did Tom actually order it? We don't have that evidence, and that's why I think he gets off. Anyway, yay or nay when we come back. This is the Daily Wrap.